When I saw what he had tweeted, I was in utter shock because of the abusive language that he's used. And it's not just because he used it against Sania Nehwal or Navika Kumar of Times Now. It's not just about, celebrities. Any woman, you can't say that to any lady. That's abusive.
Hello, namaste, very good evening, and welcome to Chitti Media. My name is Sharan Sethi, and I'll be your host for this program. Joining us today for a conversation is Prerna Tripathi. Again, she's been in the news of late after her FIR against controversial actor Siddharth. Prerna ji, thank you so much for joining us, and it's always a pleasure to talk to you. Namaste. I hope everything's
Namaste, Sharanji. Thank you so much.
right.
Happy to be here.
It's always a pleasure talking to you. And this time there is a lot of controversy surrounding what Siddharth had to say, and he has made some really nasty comments in the past. But this time, do you think he crossed the line?
Yes, actually, to be honest, when I saw what he had tweeted, I was in utter shock because of the abusive language that he's used. And it's not just because he used it against Sania Nehwal or Navika Kumar of Times Now. It's not just about, celebrities. Any woman, you can't say that to any lady. That's abusive. And what really annoyed me was that apology that he had written. It was so flimsy. It didn't even feel like it was heartfelt. It was such a horrible thing. And he tried to portray it as a joke. And he actually, I'm quoting him word to word, he says that his joke didn't land well. So that wasn't an apology at all. And that really, triggered me badly. And NCW did take cognizance of it, but unfortunately, nobody had filed an FIR.
Right. And what do we know about the case so far? I mean, is there any updates from the police as of now?
Yeah. So what I did, I went to the Cybercrime Police Hyderabad. So prior to this, Shashank Jha, the Supreme Court
Yeah.
advocate or advocate Shashank Jha, had contacted our Cyberabad police. In
Right.
fact, I'll just give you a background about this case. So earlier, what had happened is NCW immediately, Rekha Sharma ma'am, she took cognizance of this, but unfortunately, there was no FIR. Mumbai didn't file an FIR because he's a movie star. Bombay didn't do it in Mumbai. In Tamil Nadu, they didn't file an FIR. So Shashank Jha actually contacted Hyderabad Cyber Police, and Hyderabad Cyber Police was very prompt. They very promptly responded to him on Twitter and said that, please give us a formal complaint. So advocate contacted me and told me, why don't you go to the cybercrime and give in a formal complaint. So I went the very next day. So this incident happened on the 11th, and on the 12th, I immediately went and I filed a complaint with the Cyber Police Hyderabad, and an FIR was done. And now that the FIR is done, NCW and everybody can take action against him. Twitter needs to take action against him because he's a repeat offender.
Right.
He's used that word repeatedly, even last year against Sania Nehwal as well. And I think, if I'm not wrong, it was Indu Makal Kachi's Twitter handle that actually pointed it out that he's a repeat offender. All of us know it, but they were able to find the tweets and point out.
Right. Please do keep us updated about how the case progresses.
Sure, I've shared a copy of the FIR with you, so
We will
you
be
have it.
sharing that in the description. And I don't think that is even necessary because the news is already out. So everybody knows who that woman is from Hyderabad who's filed an FIR.
No, but it's only probably the right or the non-left who's actually using my name, but the left is just saying a woman, because
That's
if
true. That's
if
true.
they say something like a Hindu woman or a
Yeah.
Dalit woman, the whole narrative will change.
Because I knew that you filed the FIR, so naturally, and I saw a few center left organizations publish the same report and they said a woman. And I'm like, is there anybody else who is stealing the credits from Prerna ji? Let me just check. It turns out it's you.
Yeah.
And this comes as a very distressing thing, especially in the wake of what is happening with the Bully Buy app and the subsequent arrests that have happened. Um, to put things into perspective, how would you actually look at what has happened as far as Bully Buy is concerned?
Yeah. So this bully by this whole scandal that happened, initially we were all in shock because we had dealt with this Sully deals, a few months ago, say in September. We heard about the Sully deals, and everybody was very sure that it was a non-Hindu person from the minority called Javed Alam who had done it. That's what most of the news portals were saying. And then this shocking thing about this bully by comes up, and the saddest part about this is extremely young kids. Like, you would expect somebody who is perverted in their 40s or 50s running this kind of thing. We had that Raj Kundra thing happen in
Yeah,
Bollywood.
yeah,
We would think that, there'll be masterminds behind this. And it turns out they were like 20-year-old kids.
right,
One was an 18-year-old girl, another was a 20-year-old, and the main mastermind, they say, is 20 years old. So I don't understand what drove them to do such a perverse thing. And then there are elders within our own community who are saying that this was a prank app. Disrespecting a woman, no matter what age you are, disrespecting a woman is not tolerable. This is not our culture at all. And these people call themselves civilizational, Hindus or experts or whatever.
yeah,
In which civilization, in which tradition, in which culture is auctioning women allowed?
right. You know,
Every culture does
the
it.
individual powers of a few people, whether it's in the left or the right, has come to represent the larger community, and that is what is concerning as of now.
Yes,
The bigger thing is
thank
that
you. I was
the
about to say
binaries
that.
that have been created right now, the trans versus raitas. First of all, it's as cringy as it can get. So I don't understand a lot of these terminologies, or at least I feel that they can be better. So, but what the left sees this as is a further radicalized right wing, which is now hell bent on brainwashing the youngsters and into doing stuff like this. Now, ultimately, the lack of understanding of Hindu traditions and Hindu values will obviously make the left believe that this is what essentially the community stands for. So, don't you think these people are actually doing more damage than good by, bringing out such narratives and supporting them?
Definitely. In fact, I read these articles by News Laundry, Quint, and these are essentially very left leaning, Hindu hating websites. And they did such a hit job. That hit job was a below the belt hit job on all of us as a Hindu community. Because first they identified that fault line that we have, what you call as trad versus raita. And I feel both the terms are equally, insulting. Raita, apparently, according to their articles itself, is a play on the word right wing. And we all know Raita Felana is a very, derogatory thing in Hindi as well. And trads, they allegedly call themselves traditionalists, and the short form is trad. Which traditionalist, Hindu traditionalist, does this or even supports this or tries to justify this thing like bully by or Sully deals? So both those words I have a problem with. And the hit job, below the belt hit job that was done by these left-leaning news portals was an attack on the Hindu community as a whole.
Right,
So I don't, first of all, I don't support the, thing where women of any religion, they said apparently it was only Muslim women being auctioned, and then later came out that even right wing women were auctioned. This auctioning is extremely disrespectful.
yeah,
If they really are traditionalists and if they've been raised correctly, their upbringing, everything can be questioned because of what they have done. We can still brush it away and say that, they're just 20-year-olds, they don't know what they're doing.
right,
But the thing is, targeting women at any age from any community is not acceptable. That's not how any parent would raise their child. So there must have been some other force brainwashing these kids and supporting these kids financially and morally to run this kind of app,
Right.
right? Because see, running an organization, running an app, running anything like that, financial backup should be there. And these
Yeah.
kids are allegedly from the middle class. They're not even upper middle class.
Absolutely.
One of the kids apparently is one of the accused. I'm sorry, I won't use the word kids, but one of the accused apparently is an orphan.
Right.
So all these narratives are coming out, and it on the
But
whole.
that's not an excuse. Even if you're an orphan, there are scores of decent people. So regardless of what background you come from, there is ultimately a conscience that drives you. And once that is compromised, that is when a lot of these things happen, right?
Exactly, you're right. Charanjit, my problem is the way they have tried to justify it, and people from the right have done this. They tried to justify saying that they made this app to target people who are questioning the Ram Mandir, Ayodhya Ram
Right.
Mandir. This is the justification given by our own people within the non-left or right-wing Hindu fold.
Right.
This is what I
No,
have a problem with.
obviously, there is a huge media bias in the way in which I'm talking about both left, right, center media. So there is a bias in how gender crimes are covered, especially crimes against women. Now, you've been researching on this for a while. Are there any other examples that you can give us?
So you're right, Sharanji. The thing is, this bully by Suli deals thing, especially when the accused were Hindu, it got international, media coverage. I can list out at least 10 cases on the tip of my fingers, which are happening right now, which haven't gotten any media coverage, whether it is on the state level, on the central level, or international. International, oh, it's a, dur ki baat. I'm just talking about the state level. There's so many cases. For example, you and I had even discussed, that case in Kurnool where where two girls were molested by a pastor, and that case wasn't even registered for a month, if you remember, right? So I will tell you, there's so many cases now. The most recent cases of an, which Swati Gaur Sharma ji has just picked up, was of a minor girl of Nepali origin who was missing since the 10th of October, and Delhi police didn't do anything. They sat on the parents' complaint for 3 months. Case was picked up by social organizations and later was taken to the Child Commission, NCPCR. And the child was rescued on 8th January. By the time they rescued her, she came back in a hijab, and the accused Navid was arrested. Is there any media coverage for this case? Any international media questioning this? It's a
Right.
minor girl. This is forced conversion, right? And there are similar cases. It was, I think I'm repeating myself, but every parent, every person, every viewer watching this needs to know that in 2018, the NCSC, the National Commission of Scheduled Caste, got a police guy suspended because of the negligence they showed in a case where the victim was a minor. It was in 2018 that the National Commission of Scheduled Caste sent a letter. 2017, 2018, they sent a letter to the Home Ministry, the Central Home Ministry, and requested for a probe, NIA probe, into why the girls from Dalit community are being abducted, trafficked, especially by Muslim men.
There are other cases like the Ajmer case as well, right? The infamous sex scandal that had happened. And I think it was way before even I was born, for that matter, which people don't really recall. And that was completely brushed away. So, for our younger audience, could you remind them of what exactly this case was about?
Okay. So throughout the mid 90s, so this case actually broke out in 1992. And throughout the mid 90s, I think when both of us were kids, this actually was one of India's biggest sex scandal. And a lot of people are not aware about it at all. So what had happened was in Ajmer at the Chisti Dargah, girls, over 8,000 girls, not one, not two, not three, this went into 1,000. Almost 1,000 girls were blackmailed, forcibly, assaulted, like they were raped, and they were blackmailed. Their obscene photographs were taken, and those photographs were used to blackmail them. And those girls had to go and convince other girls to come and be part of this racket.
Right.
So it was one of the most shocking thing that had ever happened.
And
And
media
in
didn't
fact,
cover this?
no, there was only one, regional paper, Nav Bharat, by the name Nav Bharat,
Right.
where this journalist called Santosh Gupta, tried to cover it. And what had happened was he landed into major soup, and there were people after him. And one of the shocking thing is there were 18 people accused in
Right.
this. Okay, there were 18 people accused, and most of these, they were all Muslim, and most of these accused belonged to the family of the Khadims of the Ajmer Sharif Dargah.
Right.
Now, this Ajmer Sharif Dargah, they say that, the generation of the person who is buried in the Dargah, within the Dargah, the Chistiya, lineage, people of that lineage, the accused were people of that lineage. They were Khadims. They're called Khadims in Arabic or Urdu. So 18 of them were accused. And believe it or not, in 2007, a fast track court in Ajmer convicted Farooq Chisti, who was
Right.
one of the main accused. And then what they did was they declared him unstable, mentally unstable,
Right.
save him from any punishment. And this mentally unstable thing is quite misused in our law. Like if you see, I'm just digressing. I'll just tell you about this mental illness thing. I'm digressing. Is in Andhra Pradesh, whenever a temple is vandalized, and the victim belongs to a minority, specifically an Islamic community, they'll say that the person is mentally unstable. This has happened multiple times in Andhra Pradesh. So this is
Okay.
something that we use in the law to, save the person from any sort of legal repercussions.
Right.
And
No,
it was
one thing
only,
is that there are reforms that can be probably be introduced to tackle issues like these. And the other thing is, do you feel that in general the Indian society is not aware of several legal provisions that may come to their rescue?
so in fact, even the police is not aware about the, legal procedure, the decorum that needs to be followed. Like in
Right.
2018, because of the Sultanpuri case, 2017 and 18, because of the Sultanpuri case, there were 3 policy changes regarding the POCSO, POCMA, regarding the SC/ST Atrocity Act, and regarding human trafficking. Even the police is not aware. The minute you realize, even in this Nepal case with the Delhi police, this this little girl of Nepali origin, when she went missing, the police should have immediately put in a POCSO case, POCSO and POCMA. POCSO is prevention of, sexual assault on minors, and POCMA is prevention of child marriage, right? They
Right.
should have been aware, and that is a very serious case. Okay, it's absolutely non-bailable, and the
Yeah.
jail terms are
But
longer.
in this case, it's the police we are talking about. It's not the civilians who may not be aware of such provisions.
When police themselves are not aware, how do you expect civilians to be aware about such things?
Right.
Most civilians are not even aware about these kind of crimes, like the forced conversion, or even this Ajmer case where so many girls were blackmailed into this, and they were minor girls. They were big, that too from well-to-do families.
Right.
From one particular college, St. Stephen's College. There's a very good book, written by one of the teachers who actually witnessed this whole thing. But that's the thing. The author is Anuradha Marwa. She had
Right.
written a book about this.
It's actually quite astonishing that generally sexual assault cases are stereotyped with the church, and it's also associated in a large number because of the number of cases involved, right? Not just in the West, but even in India, it's come to light. I think we were discussing in the last session. But this is the first time I'm personally hearing about such cases associated with the Muslim community. to a place of worship.
See, the thing is, this Ajmer sex scandal is India's biggest scandal to date. To date, and it shook the entire community in Rajasthan. People would not marry their sons to girls who were born or raised in in Ajmer, and that's how bad it had become. There was actually a taboo on marrying girls from Ajmer there.
Right.
Any religion, Hindu, Muslim, Christian, they wouldn't marry girls from Ajmer. That's how bad that case had become. It had become a taboo. The thing is, our media also is very biased. Media is very, very, very biased. They will not cover cases and crimes when they are committed by the Muslim community. You will see, even Times Now is famous for it. Times of India is extremely notorious for doing this. Every time a Maulvi or a Muslim Baba kind of person who does that jadutuna with the jhadu, when those kind of people are arrested, they will write it as a Swami got arrested. Have you noticed?
Yeah.
They
In
say
one
that
particular
a
case, yeah.
tantric. Since when is tantra part of Islam or part of a Muslim community? They'll say tantric or a Swami or something. These keep happening.
Well, thank you so much for joining us today. I know we spoke on a wide gambit of issues, but ultimately, these are some really disturbing events that have come forth to haunt us. And hopefully, it will get better because at the end of the day, whether it's a Bollywood actor or a 20-year-old orphan, it doesn't matter because this mindset is inherited from a particular trajectory, which is very, very dangerous, whether you're in the left or the right. At the end of the day, political differences do exist, but one needs to come out of that binary to sort of respect women, regardless of where you stand on the spectrum, right?
Right, of course. And before we go, Sharanji, I just have a small bit to say.
Sure.
So now what has happened is that the media, the left, especially the left media, is divided us into trads and is divided us into raitas or whatever. The thing is, their definition that they've given us is trads apparently hate Modi ji, the BJP and the RSS. See, in my knowledge, as far as I know, traditionalist Hindus who are actual traditionalist Hindus or trads will not disrespect somebody who's in the position of Modi ji, the Prime Minister today. Because what our Shastra says is, there are 5 people, according to our Shastras, who are considered as our father figure. The first being your Guru. Your Guru is your first father figure. The second person is the king who rules the nation. So because we are a democracy, we don't really have a king, but still Modi ji is in the position of the person who rules or guards us. The third person who is considered a father figure is the eldest brother, the Jyeshtha. The brother is considered, a father figure. Fourth person is your father-in-law, who is considered your father figure. And the fifth person is your own father, who's given birth to you. So there are 5 people who are respected as father figures. So if they're real traditionalists, they will not be disrespecting Modi ji at all, or giving galis or saying Modi should resign. That's not going to happen. So they are not real traditionalists in my point of view. If they knew this, they wouldn't be doing that.
I'm sure this video will invoke some reaction from them. So hopefully,
I hope.
I know you can be back for a conversation again on this. And hopefully this will get resolved very soon because frankly, this has disturbed a lot of us. And I don't think we are also comfortable being categorized under a larger ambit of people represented by people like them.
Yeah, true.
Thank you so much for joining me today.
My pleasure. Thank you, Sharanji. Thank you so much. It's always a pleasure being on.
Namaste, and I hope I was clear enough because I'm not well a little bit, but the show must go
I
on.
hope you feel better soon. Yeah, please take care.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Namaskaram. Bye.
Please remember to subscribe to us and switch on the notifications for this channel. For our other social media links, more content, and to support our work, please visit citti.net. Dhanyavad. Namaskar.